Hello, everybody, and welcome to 9 Pitches for AEW Dynasty. Did anyone else realise those?
Well, it always goes AEW, AEW, but this time it's gone AEW. So I was a little bit surprised last week as well when I realised it was this weekend.
This one caught me a little bit by surprise last week. Andrew, are you caught by surprise?
Caught by surprise, yeah.
Are you caught by surprise as well?
And also just like the match, only 6 matches at the moment, which is
That'll-
quite short for I know
I
it'll
don't know
change
if it will
between then and
change,
now.
guys.
What for?
Because there's no time limit on Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia. So
Oh.
I think that might be 3 matches worth of match in one match.
You never know.
You
It
never
could
know.
be. Maybe one of us will have pitched that. I
No.
haven't. No.
Me neither.
Oh, well,
No.
well, I'm sure we'll have brought some wonderful pitches to the table anyway.
Aye. Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm back in mine.
Always.
All 3 of mine are bangers. I'm just saying.
Bangers?
Yeah.
I'm excited,
How many
man.
of yours would you say are bangers?
Ross?
I'm bringing the trash today. It's a good old big old plate of bangers and trash. Everybody
Oh, fantastic.
print it on a t-shirt.
If you've never seen this series before, we all bring 3 pitches to the table. We go around in a cyclical fashion. Ross, then Andrew, then myself, 3 times, and we're left with 9 wonderful pitches. But there's always a golden rule by which we abide, which is, it's not what we think's going to happen.
It's what we want to happen.
So don't get cross with us if you think it's what we think's going to happen, because it's not. It's absolutely not. Ross,
It's not.
well, I've just realised that we just say the catchphrase, but we never elaborate on what it actually means. It's pretty.
Do we need to?
It's quite self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory, isn't it?
Go on then.
I
yeah.
dreamed of this last night. I've said dreamed instead of dreamt.
Well, you actually dreamed of this was a real
No,
dream.
no.
Oh, okay. Right.
Trying to elaborate on what we want to happen.
Oh, I thought you meant this first pitch came to me in a dream.
Let's say that. Yes, it did.
Okay.
It's going to happen. It's also a prediction as well as a want. But to the Kenny Omega Ricochet Speedball Mike Bailey match we go, as we're still building towards Okada versus Omega at the big Texas show inside the big Arlington Stadium. Yeehaw, boo howdy, I've written down. Kenny and Mike do lots of cool things, and somehow the production team add in those anime lines to show how impactful and fast those moves are being done. It's so otaku, or otaku. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's a Japanese word that describes people with consuming interests, such as anime, manga, video games, computers, or other highly enthusiastic hobbies. Otaku! Woi! Towards the end of the match, Speedball is taken out via a Rainmaker by Kenny Omega. Why would he do that move? But he does it well, and he does it hard, so it sends the Speedball for a roll out of the ring under the bottom rope. Super scintillating stuff.
Yeah, that's really kawaii.
This I'll take your word for it. This opens the door for Trevor, previously wiped out during an earlier spot in the match, to attack a posing Kenny from the rear because Kenny loves a pose and Ricochet is a conniving, evil kind of guy. Trevor then goes to shoot Kenny off the ropes, but as he does so, a wedding bride with a white balaclava on emerges from under the ring with something in her hand. It's then revealed that stuff is a white powder. Tony Khan comes careering out from the back, but is tackled by security and taken back to his seat at the go position. Back in the ring, that initial Irish whip from Ricochet, an Irish man, I had to do it, sorry, is reversed by Kenny, and because the presumably blushing bride, we can't see her face, there's a balaclava there, her vision at ringside is impaired. Her ringside's impaired. Her vision at ringside is impaired because she's simply not used to wearing a professional wrestling heel balaclava. She sees man approaching and she throws powder, even though she's not supposed to, because the man coming at her, because it was reversed, was Trevor Man, a very man, her man, Ricochet, whose real name is Trevor Man. Ricochet is inadvertently blinded, and Kenny Omega capitalizes to win the match and retain the gold. The bride at ringside heads straight into the ring to console her man, and it's revealed to be Samantha Irvin, who is now the hapless manager of Trevor, who claimed last week on Dynamite that he would be leaving the pay-per-view with the title and the girl, but now it's just the girl, which is still obviously a very good prize, but roughly half of what he was predicting.
And he might not be happy with her for this, presumably. For
But I reckon we can laugh it off. Because I reckon Samantha Irvin is equally good at the silly bollocks as Trevor is.
Oh, yeah, she must be. She's good at
So I
everything.
reckon they would play off each other very well. So she comes out the pay-per-view, his new manager.
It's a yes from me. She wanted to try her hand as a manager, didn't she, in WWE, and wasn't given the chance to. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what she can do. It's not real. I'm excited to see what she can do going forward. I like. It's given me shades of Jamie Noble and Nydia from back in the day.
Oh, that's the great one.
That's the they're the
That's the great one.
benchmark. when it comes to this sort of thing. I like it. All I can say is it's a yes from me and arigato gozaimasu. Because that's one of the things I learned when I went to Japan.
Was it?
Oh, what else did you?
Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
means
Oh,
thank
right.
you. So after the end, if we'd all had a meal, we were like arigato gozaimasu, and then the longer you extend the ass at the end,
Is that how
it's more thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else did I learn? Just like konnichiwa.
Yeah,
And watashi wa Jack desu.
that's I am Jack.
My name's Jack.
My name is Jack.
That's all I know. It's a yes from me.
Yeah, well done, Ross. It's a Ross from me. Well done, Ross. It's a Ross from
You
me
loved
as well.
You loved the otaku mention there.
I did like the many different ways you're pronouncing otaku as well.
I don't want to get it wrong. I just want to cover all
It's
bases.
like-
It's a new word for me.
It felt, I don't know, it felt like when your dad's learning about these animes. That's what it felt like.
My dad hasn't learned about these
Are you
animes.
saying I'm racist?
I'm not saying you. Why am I saying you're racist?
Because you called me a dad learning about new things and certain connotations
Yeah.
flash through the mind.
It's
No,
the new,
no,
it's
no,
the new
no.
version of the garlic bread joke because that came about Peter K's dad being on holiday. Garlic bread? Let's Cadbury's fingers. No, yeah, I like it.
I like it a lot. And as Jack said as well, Samantha's wanted to get into doing something like that for a while, I think. And I think she'd be really good in a heel role as well. I don't know why.
I can't
but
even
think
imagine
she'd
it, but
be-
yeah.
Yeah, I think she'd slip into that role very well.
I panicked when you started that pitch there because I was worried it was going to be the same as my first one, but thankfully it's not.
I doubt we'll ever have a similar pitch ever.
I feel like we have done.
All
in the
right.
past. I think we all pitched that CM Punk should join The Rock, for example.
Oh, that's one, yeah.
We did, yes.
1 in 7 years.
But we all did it, yeah, and we all did it in slightly different ways as well.
We did.
Andrew.
Never the same. Let's go for it. I just feel like it's not quite as grandiose as Ross's was there. It was wonderful.
Hang on, I've had a lady throw some powder. That's all I've done.
That's not all you've done. You've had Tony Khan come out, get knocked out, and then taken back to the go position. Lest we forget. Right, I'm going to the world title match between Moxley and Swerve first. Towards the end of the match, after a tremendous back and forth, I feel like every single time I do these pitches, it's always a tremendous back and forth to
Well,
get across.
it's what you want to happen.
That it's been very taxing on both people in the ring. You know what I mean? It's a tremendous back and forth between the two that really takes its toll. Oh my God, I'm reading my own mind. Moxley and Swerve standing opposite corners of the ring as the crowd goes radio rental in response to what they're witnessing. Both men grit their teeth as they go charging towards one another. Moxley trying to hit a big boot as the two collide in the center, but Swerve ducks, grabs Moxley from behind and hits a big pressure. A rather brutal looking big pressure, lands quite close to the top of it. 1, 2, no! Moxley kicks out. We like a bit of violence.
Dangerous.
We like a bit of violence.
my
Well,
God.
we'll see why. The crowd are in disbelief, as is Swerve, who decides to climb the turnbuckle, looking to put this one away for good with a definitive Swerve stomp. But Moxley is holding his neck in a concerning manner. He calls for the ref to come and check on him, to which they do. But Swerve, he's just so close. He can feel the title in his grasp. And after everything the Death Riders have put people through in their reign of tyranny, Swerve has no remorse. He tells the ref to get out at Ruddy way and goes to hit the Swerve stomp off the top rope anyway. But as Strickland is in midair, John pulls the ref into the firing line and it connects with him. Oh my God, Moxley was feigning injury all along, the silly man. Oh, it's your bloody Death Riders ref down spot. By heck. So out come Utah, Pat, Claudio.
No, Andrew. It's a no from me.
We've not finished yet.
That's enough.
Out come Utah, Pat, Claudio, and Shafir from the crowd. Marina makes a beeline for Prince Nana, gets him in a chokehold as Moxley orders the other three into the ring, bringing with them chairs and the briefcase that the title belt is in as well. The Death Riders surround Swerve with weapons in hand, but here comes Willow Nightingale. She takes out Shafir, which causes enough of a distraction for Swerve to start taking it to the rest of the group. Well, pow. Moxley tries to hit Swerve with a briefcase, but instead he clocks Utah, who goes down. Swerve capitalizes. He hits Moxley with a poison rana from behind, who stumbles out of the ring. Pac and Claudio, they do that whole chair spot. They swing for the fences. Bang! They collide together. Ooh, my hands are stinging. I drop the chairs. Swerve follows up with a rolling double flatliner to lay both men out, but that's not enough for him. He puts a chair on the neck of Claudio, hits a house call. Bang! He does the same to Pac as well. He overcomes the odds and eradicates the Death Rider members.
On his own?
On his own. Yeah, Willow Nightingale's there as well. She's out getting rid of told Marina Shafir, you know. Exhausted, Swerve returns to his feet as the crowd are elated, only to be hit from behind with the briefcase by a Rakoot Moxley, who hits a Death Rider on the case, and he locks in the Bulldog choke. Swerve's fading as Moxley tightens his grip.
Oh my.
But when it looks like he's out for good, Swerve powers up, come on, before using every last ounce of strength to hoist Moxley up to break the hold with a back suplex. And both men are down on the mat, exhausted, but they gradually start to stir. However, just as it seems that Swerve has at least leveled the playing field, we see a figure emerge on the apron as there stands one Hangman Adam Page. Hangman stares intensely as Moxley and Swerve stagger to their feet, unaware that Page looms over them. Hangman grabs the top rope, ready for the buckshot lariat, and as the two competitors finally make it to their feet, it's too late. Swerve clocks Adam at the last minute and braces for impact as Page launches himself into the ring, only to hit Moxley with the buckshot lariat instead.
Because he's the heart of AEW.
He's the heart of AEW, everybody.
He loves this company and this business.
He loves it so much. Page and Swerve stare daggers through one another. He loves this.
It wasn't by mistake.
He wasn't by a mistake.
He
It
loves
was
this
all
company.
a
But he's also
ruse.
said he's going to make sure that Swerve doesn't walk out with the
Clearly,
title.
he's had some internal battles with
We'll
himself.
see. He's a very conflicted man these days. Page and Swerve stare daggers through one another. They don't take their eyes off one another as Hangman eventually rolls out of the ring and back up the ramp, watching on as the ref finally recoups in the ring. Swerve can't believe what's happened, neither can Ross, and neither can we. But he capitalizes, heads up the top rope, he hits a Swerve stomp on Moxley for the 1-2-3 new AEW champion in Swerve Strickland. You might think that's bonkers with everything that Hangman Adam Page has said recently, but I'll tell you what, Hangman Adam Page helped Swerve Strickland win the championship. Hangman Adam Page goes on to win the Owen. Hangman Adam Page goes on to challenge Swerve Strickland at All In.
And Andrew as well. How angry would Swerve be that he only won the title?
And
Because
that's exactly-
It's like Raven Tommy Dreamer stuff.
Exactly
But-
what
but
Hangman
bit
lords
better.
over Swerve.
You know how you have a Hollywood handshake on Great British Bake Off?
Yeah.
You can have a twaddle too.
Oh my God!
No,
what
that's
was
that's the biggest honor in the
That could not
world.
be more complimentary. What a rise!
You don't know about the tunnel tickle. He does it every video.
That's how you know I really like it.
Definitely occasions.
It's definitely not the first time I've ever seen him do it. It's also a yes from me. Just a normal one. I'll be the Mary Berry of the
course,
situation.
yeah.
I don't have a signature.
Nice.
Yeah. That was very good.
Thanks.
I can't remember what I was going to say. I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. The emotions. Oh, God.
What a time.
And I think they might do that as well.
Do you reckon?
No, maybe not exactly as you mapped it out, but they might have Hangman realize, no, actually, what's better than costing him is having him only win because of me and saving the company I love.
Oh, what a guy.
What a
God,
guy.
he's bloody selfless.
And everyone's going to think Hangman's a great guy apart from Swerve.
Yep,
Oh,
that's it.
Man.
Oh, it writes itself.
It doesn't though,
Legend.
because you've written it yourself.
You
I did.
legend.
I didn't think about it, but you've laid it out there and it's
There you
wonderful.
go. There you go.
I hate following that. I hate it.
It's just long rambling until you get to the point at the
It
end.
was worth it.
It
It
should
was
just
so
be like,
worth it.
here's what happens.
No.
Bang.
It was so worth it. I'm going back to Kenny Omega, Ricochet, and Speedball's match. Despite the heelish antics of Ricochet and the delightful antics of Speedball, it's Kenny Omega who wins the triple threat to retain his international championship. He celebrates and gets on the mic when he predictably calls out Kazuchika Okada for a unification title match at All In Texas. The music hits. Cling, 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 cling. Da-da-da. 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 He's jumped from behind. It was all a distraction.
Oh!
Okada's not there at all. He's actually attacked. He turns into a double super kick from those damn young bucks who are
what
back.
are you doing?
No, wait.
What are you doing?
No, wait. You'll like this by the end of the They hit him with a BT trigger and stand over him as the crowd boo. Now, the Bucks get on the mic and say, "Oh dear, Kenny. Oh dear, friend." I don't know if I've written this in their voice or not. Our good buddy Okada isn't even here tonight, and he certainly doesn't want to waste his time putting the Continental Championship on the line against a washed-up loser like you. But because we're such incredible guys and great AVPs, we thought we'd give you a fighting chance. If you can beat us right now and prove that you're not a complete has-been, you can have the match against Okada. And to make it even more fair, we'll make it a tag match if your partner makes it to the ring in the next 10 seconds. Now, for this to work, it has to be like a slow wrestling count. But They urge the referee to begin counting down from 10, and on the Tron we see Max Caster rushing towards Gorilla shouting, me, I'm the best wrestler alive. He falls over because he's a funny comedy man and is overtaken by Will Ospreay. Here he comes, he's the real one. The Bucks panic and tell the ref to count faster because it's a bit of a slow wrestling count, as Ospreay approaches the entrance to Gorilla, or go position, as we've learned
That's what it's called.
It is what it's called in AEW. But he is absolutely blindsided by a chair shot. Now, the brackets haven't been revealed yet, but I want it to be one of the heels in the men's Owen Hart tournament. I think they're revealed tonight, the men's brackets, at least.
I think so.
Maybe both sets of brackets. But they've only announced 3 people at this time, Ospreay, Hangman, and Jay White. I don't think any of them would... Well, one's Ospreay. I don't think the other 2 would work. So for the sake of this pitch, I'll make it a real arsehole like Christian Cage, or maybe even a returning Jack Perry, which would work with the Young Bucks team. But Ospreay's taken out by a heel anyway, who we will then beat in the Owen Hart tournament. Back to ringside, Kenny looks a bit doomed, but a balaclava-clad man jumps the barricade and beats the referee's count into the ring.
Samantha.
It's a man.
Oh, sorry.
He unmasks to reveal, and initially I was going to make it Kenny's fellow Canadian, Josh Alexander. But instead of taking a risk, and I've gone for the coldest white boy in the game. Gabe Kidd. Gabe teams with Kenny and helps him survive this tag match. He kind of has to drag him through it at points, but it's ultimately an exhausted Kenny who fires up just enough to hit the one-winged angel, probably on Nicholas because he kicks out less than Matthew Jackson seems to, and they pick up the win. After the bell, I've tried to do a Gabe promo.
Yes.
Oh, go on.
It's only in a short one. After the bell, Gabe congratulates Kenny but says, nah, that's not it, you know.
He's now
Is he from Birmingham?
Yeah,
No.
Well, he's from the East Midlands.
Okay, well, yeah, fair enough.
Me and you, we're not done yet. You may have beaten me at Wrestle Dynasty, but once you've beaten Okada, I'm coming after your title, mate. Now he's from Manchester.
Yeah,
he's gone all over the place. By way of Kingston, Jamaica.
Apparently so, yeah.
That's it, Gabe Kidd. And then I imagine that the Bucks will try and screw Kenny again at All In, but Gabe will fight them off, and then it leads to Kenny versus Gabe, the rematch down the line.
Oh, that's good.
I was asking the question, what are Gabe's motivations here?
Oh,
but
yeah.
getting the motivation at the end there. You riz my back, I riz yours.
Does he say that?
I don't know. I'm trying. But yeah, that's the one question I had, and it's been answered at the end there. So it's a yes from me. Gotta have the coldest white boy in the game.
Gotta have the coldest white boy in the game. It's a yes from me as well. I was on board already when you said Will was coming out, but then you swerved us, didn't you? That was good, that. Swerved when I
certainly did.
That was good. I like that a lot. And more Gabe Kidd on the television, please.
Yeah, he's a bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah, that's why he's so good.
And his great wrestling matches as well, of course.
Yes.
After quite a skeptical start of this video, we've done really well here.
Tremendous.
This has been a really good start.
Does it continue to grow?
Oh, it's been fantastic. Great first round from us 3.
We get a segment on Dynamite this week where we see Bandido talking about how worried he is that his man might be looking at his shoot face by the end of the Mask versus Ring of Honor World title match against Chris Jericho at the pay-per-view. The Learning Tree, Big Bill, and the Bad Apple arrive on the scene and make it known once more they're looking forward to making Bandido's mammy cry. Big Bill tries to pipe up at the end of Jericho's promo here about the potential of a crying mother, but Chris is like, "Bye! Be quiet now. One tag team win on Collision against little tiny men like Top Flight is not enough, Big Bill. You still need to prove you're worthy of being under my tree by doing more of that kind of thing. It's not enough." Jericho walks off. "Right then," says Big Bill as the camera fades to black. He's an angry man. What more does he have to do? He's won a tag team match on Collision last week. We get the match on at whatever night. Is it Saturday? Sunday. And Jericho is in the ring because, of course, he would enter first. He's Chrissy 9 title reigns. He can do what he wants. Bandido's music plays and he walks out. Excalibur, because all the lights are down, is like, "My goodness me, hasn't our boy grown? And he's wearing Timbs for this match. Who would have thought Bandido likes to wrestle in Timberland boots?" "And what's that?" says Tony Schiavone. "He's got a little friend with him, but he's obviously Mexican because not only is he wearing a mask not too dissimilar to the recently fell Gravity, but he's also in a traditional Mexican poncho, and he must be friends with Bandido because that hat is pretty similar, if not an exact copy, of what Bandido wears, is it?" Can you picture what it is?
So it's a similar type of hat.
Yeah, but you're trying to think who wears this regularly.
Oh.
We'll find out by the end of the pitch.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah. Okay,
Taz pipes up and tells us, "Oh, that's Vitamins Jones over here." During a fight week, most MMA fighters cut heavy to make weight, but it looks like Bandido has been eating all of the vitamins and all the proteins to make him as swole as possible for this career-defining match. Jericho can't believe it and sells it like Bandido is the second coming of Beelzebub himself. I know not much about Beelzebub, but I don't assume he's a nice guy.
No.
Just as Bandido Bandido and his little friend get to the bottom of the ramp, the actual Bandido appears at the top of the ramp. There's two of them, cries everybody on screen. Little Bandido, the real one, says, "Hello, Chris." I've got "Hello, Chris. Meet Bill Dido and his friend, old Brian Gravity."
Okay. Bill Dido is great. Did you struggle when it came to that?
Bill Dido.
Old Brian Gravity. But I think the comedy of Brian Gravity works.
BG.
Like, defying gravity. Is that what you were trying to go for?
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
He gets on the
Brian
mic.
Gravity.
Because my name is Brian Gravity. It's fantastic.
Bill Dido came to me with a proposition. He's going to make sure my mother enjoys this, and when he wins, I get the first shot of his title. SummerSlam 2014 scenes between Brock and John happen as Bill Dido wins the title and officially leaves the learning tree in the process. There is a moment where the two masked men who aren't Bandido take their masks off. And what are the chances? It's been Big Bill and Brian Keith all along.
no.
I can't believe it.
Wow.
Keith and Bill celebrate by felling Chris Jericho once again and having a game of the aforementioned and really fun Jericho Ball, where they stand on opposite sides of the ring and throw a razor blade ridden apple
it's
off
that
the
again.
torso of Chris until he loses all of his blood.
We brought it back. We brought back
Jericho Ball, everyone's favourite game.
Yeah.
10 minutes, do as much damage as you can. Bandido's mom comes down the ring and
I
celebrates.
just want to give you a yes. I was jumping in there.
This is the cherry. Bandido's mom comes down the ring and celebrates with Bill Dido before spitting on the corpse of Jericho and then sitting on Bill's shoulder like Elizabeth and Macho Man. That was the final and very worthwhile sentence.
Yeah, it's a yes from me. Of course it is.
Yes from me. I thought you brought Jericho. As Jack said, you brought Jericho Ball back.
It's just all Brian Gravity for me.
Brian Gravity
think
is
it's
very.
inspired.
Bill Dido
It's
is
very good.
tremendous.
Because Brian Keith's normal attire is a pretty similar-ish hat to Bandido.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
he's put the Gravity mask on because Gravity lost his mask.
Yeah.
Anyone listening to this on audio, that was Ross applauding.
Yeah.
No, it was Joel. Joel loved it.
Tremendous.
But it is a yes from me. I think it's the sort of kooky shenanigans that I would certainly enjoy, and I think a lot of people would as well.
Yeah,
Apart
so
from the
you-
Jericho Ball bit, which is quite brutal. Okay.
I like it as well. It's a yes from me. What do you think? Big Bill's gonna turn big face this weekend?
I don't think it'll be this weekend, but surely that's where they're still going, just in a very long way.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Like I don't. Do you think that Bandido's gonna win or
Lads,
not?
I've made I think he is. I've made a huge mistake.
Oh no!
I glanced down at Andrew's notes, and he's titled his second pitch "The Swerve That Happens in the Pitch." So now I just know what his pitch is.
It's not. It's not.
I'm so sorry. I'll just not react.
I was going to preface it with it. I feel like it's going to happen anyway.
It's bolded and underlined. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have looked.
Just in case I forget.
Yeah.
What it's about.
Just need to put a title in there, even though it's just your notes that only you are going to be reading. It's not like a school presentation.
Are you asking
man.
someone else to write these for you and giving them? Are you sending titles to someone else?
Chat
No,
GPT.
this is me that writes them. So what I do, this is my thought
Hey,
process.
up! I see dead people.
For those at home.
Yes, ghost writing.
Ghost writing.
Oh.
No, so my process is I literally type titles out in hopes that something comes to me. In hopes that
No,
something
that's
comes to me.
understandable.
Are more than 3 titles?
I usually have quite a few different
Is that your-
ones.
wow, that's an interesting creative
just to
process.
be
Master of his
like,
craft.
am I gonna get some? Am I not gonna
Wow.
get some?
I like that. It's good.
But there you go. Well, you know what? the
I'm
next
so
one is
sorry.
now.
No, but
Is it a yes or is it a no, Jack?
I'll need to know how it happens. I'm
Okay,
afraid.
well.
And I do think Bandido is going to win because I can't see him losing his mask.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought that Bandido might win, but Chris might try and take his mask off anyway. And then Big Bill's like, I'm not having that. That's mean.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
And then batter the absolute tish out of him. Right. We'll do the second one then that Jack knows
please.
all about.
Sorry.
Trios Championship match. Rated FTR versus Death Riders. Question is throughout this one though, can they coexist? Can they?
I'm
Well,
going to
you
assume
already
I'm
know.
going to assume they can't. After what we've
Yo,
said so far.
Why did you say that? Why would you say that?
Jack already knows. So let's really well find out together, shall
Oh,
we?
no.
Come on then. Oh dear. Despite things being a bit contentious between the three, well, they were like a well-oiled machine. We don't know where this one's going, do we?
This is the worst possible thing I've done.
They surprised the Death Riders, who think they've got this one easily in the bag, right, against a dysfunctional team. However, they aren't completely without some hiccups, right? Who'd have thought it? At one point during the match, it looks like Dax is calling for Cash. The two are about to set back up for a shot machine, but Dax gets pushed out of the way by Wheeler Yuta, and instead Cope gets in there to hit the move with FTR hair instead.
See, that's tension, that.
See, it's the little things I've said here and there that present Dax in a manner.
Ross doesn't know who's going to side. He doesn't know which way this is going to happen, though, to be fair.
I'll keep it to myself.
We'll
where I
talk
think
about
it's
it.
going.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. It's the little things like this that present Dax in a manner that makes him feel like he's being pushed out a little bit by Cope and Cash, teasing the split from the two just that bit more. What could happen, everybody? Once again, they overcome the pettiness, though, until the very end of the match. Dax has Yuta in the center of the ring with a sharp shooter locked in. Cash takes himself and Pac out with a moonsault to the outside because he's crazy. We're going all out in this one. And Cope spies Claudio trying to slip into the ring to break up the submission hold.
Got to be a spear.
Cope he's ready all.
No, I
Cope bounces
can
against
just
the
see this one in my head.
Cope bounces against the ropes looking to spear Claudio, but Castagnoli moves out of the way at the last second. Cope collides with Dax instead, completely wiping his teammate out, who was mere seconds away from making Wheeler Yuta tap. A stunned Cope can't believe what's happened, and Claudio capitalizes as he tosses the Rated R superstar out of the ring, leaving Yuta to lay in wait for Dax to stumble to his feet before delivering the Busai Kuni for 1, 2, 3. Death Triangle remain.
Cope should take the fall.
Death Riders.
Death Riders retain.
You said Death Triangle, which is
Did I say Death
such a
Triangle?
throwback.
I was just wishing. I was just hoping. I did write Death Triangle there as well. Yeah, Death Riders is what I
But
meant.
do you not think it's more compelling if Dax takes the fall because
That's it.
No.
Because Cope's
caused
screwed
this.
it up again for him. Screwed it up again for him.
Well,
He's
you
done it
can
again.
still do that by taking the
It's all
fall.
about him, isn't it? Cope this and Cope
But he's escaped
that.
another match without making anyone else look good.
Well, that's the thing.
I
That's
just
what
want one
causes
match.
the dissension between them. It's like, we've had enough of you.
But
Anyway,
I don't want the people who look good be his friends, his neighbours.
Much
That's
like-
a waste of time.
But wait.
much like the other week
I can't wait.
Much like the other week on Dynamite, but with the roles reversed. Cope stands over Dax and offers out his hand as an apology, and Dax
I
reciprocates.
can imagine him doing it in such a fake, humble way as, oh, sorry, buddy.
But Dax reciprocates. But Bayek, he's fuming, right? He gets straight to his feet, bang, straight, boom, like headbutt. They're colliding together. Immediately, they both butt heads, with the two getting into aggressive and heated exchange before Cash steps in to break the two up. He's conflicted that his two friends are at loggerheads, and Dax tries to approach Cope again, but Cash just shoves him away. Get off. Get off. We can't believe it. It's the end of FTR as we know it, everybody. Jack knows.
After so many years.
Jack knows it's the end of FTR, and Cash has chosen his side. But Cope goes to console Wheeler whilst trying to apologise for the mistake. But as Cope approaches Wheeler, he turns and hoofs Cope in the nads. Boom, straight in the willy. As Cash stands there admiring his work, he looks back at Dax with a smirk. He tosses Cope his way, and the two land a lovely shatter machine on the Rated R superstar, and then do a Gunter-esque beatdown on the man, Ross.
They play coat ball.
They play Cope
The
ball.
most outrageous thing anyone's ever said on this pitch is
Absolutely.
I include the
Beat
chips
them
in
up.
that.
FTR turns heel. My goodness gracious me. Thank God they've had enough of everything.
I'll just get it straight in there. It's a yes from me, and
Thank you.
it has been for quite some time, actually, now. Yeah.
I'm gonna
So,
cover
no, I'm not
this
looking at the other
final.
one.
I'm gonna turn the page.
It's a
over.
yes from me as well. I would have Cope take the fall because you can still do that post-match angle with Cope taking the fall. I just really
Yeah.
want Cope to take a fall.
When he said that he goes to console Wheeler, I thought he meant Wheeler Yuta, and I was like, why would Cope?
Why would he
But
do that?
I didn't even question it that much in my head because I was like, that's the sort of thing he would actually do. As
Yeah,
well.
because a handshake means more than a win over Cope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn Cope.
But I do think that's gonna. I know it's not what we think is gonna happen. It's what we. But I want the thing that I want to happen the most is the bit afterwards where they just absolutely play Cope ball.
Yeah.
Let's do
No,
it.
it's a good
Let's
one.
do it.
I like it. I hope that it does happen, but I feel like maybe they'll hold off for a bit and they'll just have them
Oh.
lose, and then the tension will ramp up further. I don't know, though. I don't know.
Could do.
Unless Cope just wants to get straight in there with another feud and he can beat FTR 2-on-1 later on. And
Oh no.
Probably.
yeah, that might be it.
No.
It's time for my second pitch. I think this one's all about the ending, so just
Okay.
hold on for the ending. I think it's fair to say that no one particularly cares about Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia, which is a shame because they're both excellent wrestlers and will surely put on a very good match just in terms of in-ring ability, but the feud hasn't particularly caught the crowd's imagination. Well, here's how, I've said, to catch the crowd's imagination. Midway through the match, both men have done one of those strike exchanges that indie boys do where they just can't knock each other down. Chop, super kick. They're wobbling, enziguri, Pele kick, and now both men are down, and the crowd go, yeah.
Woo!
Fight forever, guys.
Someone in the back has evidently had enough of this and roars into the arena in a monster truck. Wow.
Whoa.
The monster truck races down the ramp and comes to a stop just short of the ring. A large man gets out and climbs up onto the roof, diving over the top rope like Steve Austin and taking out both men as they return to their feet with a flying double clothesline. Oh. The referee calls for the bell and it's a no contest. The man gets to his feet. It's none other than Wardlow.
Oh.
I had a Google.
Who's that?
I know he's been out for almost exactly a year.
Yeah.
And he disappeared for like 6 months. And then it was reported that he's got an injury. So I don't know how bad the injury is at all. I'm just going to... It's what I want to happen. I'm just saying he's back now.
Yeah.
Tell you what he does have. A beautiful dog.
Does he?
What kind of dog has he
Beautiful
got?
dog. I think it's a black German Shepherd.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
The dog can be driving the monster truck if you want.
Yeah.
He's been out for almost exactly a year at this point. Blah, blah, I've already said that. Wardlow does a bit of a Jacob Fatu / Bronson Reed style beatdown where no amount of security can stop him. F5s or F10s or whatever he used to call it to both Cole and Garcia. Maybe both at once if he can do it. I don't know if he can do it. He's launching security guards through the ropes. Roddy Strong and Kyle O'Reilly try and stop him, but they just can't, they absolutely can't. Wardlow gets on the mic and says, Daniel Garcia, you have something that belongs to me, the TNT Championship, which he's held 2 or 3 times.
Phew.
And Adam Cole, I may have been blindsided by MJF back in the day, but I always knew you were a piece of S-word.
Oh.
Now I want both of you at Dynasty for my TNT Championship.
Whoa.
He puts one of them through the announce table, one through the timekeeper's table, and leaves. And as he leaves, we see one of the downed security guards shaking with anger because tabling people is his thing, not Wardlow's thing.
You know what this means, don't you?
What does this mean?
You know what this means,
What
don't
does
you?
it mean?
Do you not know?
No, what does this mean?
Well, it's not a Dudley boy. Work it out, Andrew. You be table.
You be table.
Get your dancing shoes on there, Wab.
It's Von Wagner. It's Von Wagner. You don't even care. You don't even care.
I thought you knew ball.
Sorry.
Ball knowledge down.
Game does not recognise.
Because Von
game,
Wagner has
apparently.
recently been a security guard in
yes,
AEW.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did not realise that the whole table thing was the big man shtick. I apologise. Sorry, Ross. Sorry, Jack.
It's his only shtick.
It's his
It was
only shtick.
it was especially towards the latter days of his run.
You love the wall where they have the plinth, the regal plinth.
Yeah.
And he loves table. And sausage there, sausage.
And he likes sausage.
Pasta with sausage.
Have you
Wait,
never-
was that the one where he goes to dinner at
Yeah,
Robert
yeah,
Stone's
yeah.
house?
But he's
or
clearly having an
something?
affair with Robert Stone.
Yes. I vaguely remember that. Yes.
It's a yes from me.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even need that bit for it to be a yes, but with the bit at the end, man.
Thank you. Because
I can just imagine
Wardlow
Von.
versus Von.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's generation.
Hello.
Can I just imagine Von convulsing on the floor at the sight of
With
a broken
fury.
table? Yeah.
It's a yes from me as well.
Yeah.
I would like to see Wardlow back, and if this was the way to really actually kickstart a TNT title run for him, then I'd be down for it. Will he win in the end?
Yeah,
He's
but
got to.
he'd hold it for a few
No,
weeks,
don't
and
say
then Von Wagner.
And then Von
Wagner's coming
Well,
after
that's
him.
okay.
There's no escape.
Okay,
In your
okay.
words, no
No
escape.
escape.
Exactly. Right.
Go on,
Ross.
This is an abridged version of what should happen over many weeks, but big happenings happened at the pay-per-view this weekend. I've written down. I was clearly trying to fill a word count here. I really want to like Cope in AEW, and this is what I would do to get there, because since 2020, he's been a little bit of a rascal in the business, hasn't he? The trios title match we go. Obviously, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever said in these Pitches videos, but Cope is the one who takes the fall, meaning Death Riders keep the titles. I've basically done what you've done, but with what I was saying for your addendum earlier on.
Yeah.
A little tweak post-match. Dax Harwood snaps. He pushes Cope. He pushes Cash. He spits at people. He's off. Rated FTR are done. But Cash sides with Dax as he wants to save that relationship before obviously reconciling with Rated FTR because they are neighbours. And you can't have neighbours who don't get along. Now, in June of 1995, Christian Cage started wrestling. So because it will be 30 years ago this coming June, I would like to see Nick Wayne his plan unfold, but involve the 30th anniversary of Christian Cage doing the wrestling.
That's good.
I would like to see Nick Wayne host a Christian Cage Appreciation Night where a certain Randy Rezzo appears. Now, who is Randy Rezzo, I hear you ask? It's the father of Christian Cage.
Oh my God.
Is he still with us? I could not confirm. So we might need an actor to play the role, but it's kayfabe, it's wrestling. Randy Rezzo, the shoot father of Christian Cage.
Because he's never had this turned against him.
No.
He's turned the father against him.
I'm really worried about where this is going, though.
Oh, I've read that bit out. During the segment, Nick Wayne beats up this maybe 75, 80, 85, 90-year-old man to a bloody pulp, and Christian Cage has to watch, much like Gunter and Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso on Raw this week, because at the end of the day, Christian's had a lot to say about Nick Wayne's father, and now how the turntables, my goodness me. Nick's had enough, and now his plan is unfolding. Just as the beatdown on Randy Rez was getting a bit too much, you think you know him? Cope is here to clear house and save the man who probably made him a jam sandwich or two during his youth. But in trying to save his pal Randy Rezzo, Cope is battered by the now fully heel FTR, who now have a working relationship with Wayne and Sabian, who are now free from their sort of father, but not really father, but also very much father, Christian Cage. One thing leads to another, and eventually we get to what I would like to see down the line, which is what would make me like Cope, once again in AEW, Cope and Christian together. The E and C. The C and C. You have 5-second kazoos and all that malarkey. Get them back together and a little feud with not only Wayne and Sabian, but also FTR as well, who are now fully heel. It's very condensed. It's missing a few chapters, but that's the end.
That's the end goal.
That's happening at the pay-per-view and the end destination.
Yes.
I'm giving it a bar.
A bar?
A bar.
You like old people, I know it's fine.
It's not just that. It's because, on one hand, we've made Cope likable again, and you've achieved that, but we've lost heel Christian. So that's why it's a...
Or have we? Because I was going to say... I've written down, haven't I? I need Cage to remain in a similar vein to what he is currently.
Yeah. It's a yes from me.
Come on.
Yay.
I think Christian being an arse and then Cope trying to pick up the pieces behind him, I think would work as a tag team stick for them too.
I like that.
Well, then that's like Al Snow and Steve Blackman. So it's a yes from me.
Head, cheese.
Yeah. I didn't want to... I really scrambled the not calling that, but it's a horrible name.
It's a yes from me as well, because I failed to mention that that's where I would like it to go down the line. That Christian Cage gets ousted.
What an arsehole.
I'm sure there was thunder above me. It's been taken and it's over there.
I forgot to mention that was just the end of my...
I did it. I had it. Yeah, I'll go get my notebook out there and I'll show you what I wrote in my notes.
It's not that you've planned it. It's that you said it.
Hang on.
I kind of
You're sat at a desktop computer and you're writing out notes as well.
Yeah, I write it in my little...
That's nice.
...journal book that
For the memoirs.
You know, just to remember, because I forget things very quickly.
No, that's fair.
Even though I should probably write it on the computer, that would help. But the computer is clean space, and the diary thing is the.
I've heard that if you write things in multiple formats, it helps you remember them better as well. Fair. Checks out.
Format everything.
That's a good.
But there you go. But no, that's what I would like to see. But I think you're right as well. Christian still has to retain what makes him like incredible right now.
Yeah.
But having Cope try and pick up the pieces or whatever, I think is a really good idea. So it's a big yes from me. Yeah.
This might be the most consistent Pitches video we've ever done.
Consistent.
It's really, really good.
Oh,
all the
yeah.
way through. Can it continue? Whoa.
It's very short, this one.
Okay.
I did struggle a bit, but it's what I want to see happen. Yes, please. Let's kick off the beginning of the men's and women's Owen Hart tournament brackets, but more specifically the women's on Dynasty, and even more specifically with Jamie Hayter. Jamie has the first qualifying match at AEW Dynasty against who? I just don't know. Maybe against someone who hasn't been announced yet, perhaps a Serena Deeb, maybe even a returning Britt Baker to add a bit of drama, a bit of uncertainty as to who could come out on top, but ultimately it would be Jamie Hayter regardless, as the one standing tall in victory. And as she's celebrating her win and she's looking at the cup, the competitors in the following match begin to make their way to the ring, which coincidentally, everybody, turns out to be for the women's AEW World title. Jamie pauses and watching Megan Bayne make her way to the ring, but as Jamie begins to head up the ramp, that's when timeless Tony Storm's music hits and the two have a brief encounter. You're finished. That's done. They have a stare off.
Wow.
Jamie Hayter goes on to win the Owen, and then we finally get to Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm for the AEW Women's Championship at All In.
And if Jamie Hayter wins that, then I would suggest that maybe her initial opponent here isn't Britt Baker, because you can save that one for her title reign.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a bad shout. There you go. Look, he's writing it for me. What a guy.
well, I've never booked a wrestling promotion, but I've heard other people do it in my vicinity. So there we go.
He's done it. That's it.
It's a yes. It's a yes from me.
It's a yes from me as well,
Thank
Andrew.
you.
Up the
Very
Jamie
nice.
Hayter. Who did she wrestle on Collision? Because I'm drawing a blank here.
It was Billy
Same.
Starks.
Billy Starks.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, 'cause she
It was
did
good
the,
as well. It was
Did
really
the
good.
Haterade off the ropes, didn't
Oh,
she?
it was lovely.
Nice.
I was just thinking now as well. You got 70s Jamie Hayter versus Timeless Tony Storm. A battle of the decades right there.
Just called it timeless.
Timeless.
Oh, but she's 50s or 40s.
50s.
Old
She's not in
Hollywood.
her 50s.
No.
She is.
Upgrade her look to the 70s, and then they're just like, whoa, yeah, man.
What, dude?
That's not wrestlers, peace.
Well, the 60s, she can be once upon a time, you dressed so
Oh.
fine. Didn't you?
That's a good impression.
Thank you.
You're
We've mentioned Bob quite a lot on recent podcasts.
Big Bob.
Yeah.
Kayla mentioned the bootleg Beatles are coming back in December, and it's going to be on the poster it says the Dylan-inspired tunes of the Beatles, which
Oh.
makes me Joel will know more, I assume. What did he
What
write,
does that
Joel?
mean?
Yes.
I don't know.
The Dylan-inspired tune. So just a very select few.
I imagine Bob must have had a hand in writing a few Beatles songs.
Of all the Beatles albums, the early ones are too pop, and the later ones are too weird. It's only Rubber Soul that's the folksy Dylan one.
That's
surely.
true.
That
I
is
have
true.
no idea. I'll have to
It's
look
on the
that up
poster.
afterwards.
There you go.
Huh.
I thought you would know, Joel. I'm very sorry for putting you on the spot.
Are you going to see them?
Kayla wants to take me, yes.
It's a fun time. It's a fun night out.
I went and last December. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just a weird time.
Dylan-inspired.
Because they're all pretending. All the 60-year-old people are pretending it's actually Ringo. Like, Ringo, you're so funny. Because he's the idiot on the drums who stole a living as far as I'm concerned. The same
He's a
little
good
beat
lad.
all the time.
He has a
Not
legacy. He's got a legacy. Thomas
He's in
the Tank
every man.
Engine.
That's what's so likable about him.
He's not, though,
Just
is
a
he?
guy.
He's not.
He's
a
an idiot.
weirdo.
He earned his money narrating Thomas the Tank Engine when we were kids, though.
That he's flawless there.
Yeah,
yeah,
flawless.
really good.
Great performance.
Perfect work.
Anyway.
My last one is a bit similar to one of Ross's, so I'm a bit...
Okay. You said
about
you'd
it.
never have similar ones.
Once upon a time.
Well,
Chris Jericho versus Bandido. It's mask versus title, of course, but Jericho isn't taking any chances. He attacks Bandido before the bell and beats him down. Of course, this brave luchador wants to carry on with the match, though, and despite the protests of Gravity in his corner, he's like, no, I want to do it. Tell the ref to call for the bell. Jericho blasts Gravity with his baseball bat and throws him over the announce table, where he maybe lands in the lap of his family. And
Aw.
well, it's got to make Jericho look nasty, hasn't it?
Yep.
Bandido is fired up by this and tells the referee to call for the bell. He rushes at Jericho and the match gets underway. But despite Bandido's valiant efforts, Chris is able to hit the Judas effect out of nowhere about 10 minutes in. One, two. He gets a leg on the ropes in time. Jericho complains to the referee, and an exhausted Bandido rolls him up. 1-2. Jericho counters into a roll-up of his own with feet on the ropes. The ref doesn't see it. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
And Bandido has lost his mask.
Oh!
A triumphant Jericho stands over Bandido and prepares to unmask him, but the noble luchador slaps his hand away. He wants to unmask himself. He wants to have the privilege of doing that himself. He gets to his feet, grabs a mic, and standing face to face with Jericho with one hand on his mask, he raises the microphone and says, "Someone didn't read the contract for our match tonight, because if you had, you'd have known the name on the contract for this match didn't say Bandido. It said," and he unmasks to reveal. Now, I have 3 options because I couldn't decide which one to go
Choose
with.
your own adventure.
Number 1, Dean Malenko, because he did this angle with Jericho in WCW, but the downside is that he can't wrestle. He can't wrestle now anymore. X-Pac looks a bit like him.
Yeah.
Although Bandido is brawnier like Pac. And then I've put maybe Juventud Guerrera. That's all one pick. And finally, Kurt Angle. Better retirement than he had. Old foe of Jericho's.
Yeah.
He lost to Corbin. No one liked that.
No.
I'm not sure Big Kurt could do the wrestling anymore.
I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote this. And I was also struggling to think of anyone who looks like Bandido because he's got the hair, but also he's quite massive as well.
Yeah, he is a big
Only
boy.
Pac's the only one I could
yeah.
think of, but he's in the Death Riders. He wouldn't do this. Anyway, the real Bandido runs out, and the actual title match is about to begin. Jericho calls for help. He's exhausted. He's beaten down. He calls for help from Bill and Brian, who run out only to grab Jericho and beat him down themselves.
Yeah.
They leave, and finally Jericho, who can barely stand, is easily beaten by Bandido to become the new Ring of Honor champion.
We'll take it.
Okay.
Jericho, it's
Yeah.
a means to an end, and the ends are nice.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I really... The whole thing with Bill and Brian, I prefer your thing with them being...
Yes,
Brian
inspired.
Gravity and Bill Dido is really good.
Brian Gravity.
Yeah. Oh, I should have made it Chad Gable.
Oh, you could have done as
He's
well.
crossed over the...
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, the forbidden door.
It's what we want to happen.
It's what we want to happen. Well, just say it now.
And it's actually Chad Gable.
Massive
great.
yes.
Thank you.
Massive yes.
And thank you all for watching as well. We'll have loads of coverage of Dynasty coming up. We'll have so
Predictions are coming up. Yeah, I don't think Sam might be doing a solo live stream with a special guest, which makes it not a solo live stream, which means what I said was redundant. Next week, obviously, Jack, what happened at on the weekend there. Next week, WTF will be on the Patreon for the patrons.
Are we doing a Monday podcast on the pay-per-view itself?
I should sincerely hope so.
Cool.
I would hope you do too. There you go.
And have you got anything you want to
I got
mention?
nothing to plug at all. No, just the things that Ross has said.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this journey. I think it's been wonderful.
It's been a dynasty.
And yes, and thank you, Joel, as well. And thank you, everybody, for watching once again. Leave your own pitches, why not, in the comment section down below. And remember, of course, life's a pitch.
And then you die.
That's such a morbid ending to the thing.